Long before Alexander the Great, before Caesar, and way before your cousin Chad declared himself king of crypto, there was Sargon of Akkad.
Sick flip, bro.
Whoa!
Wait, where even are we? And why the heck are you glowing?
Silence, mortal. I am Sargon of Akkad, King of Kings. Go back to your shiny coins and ridiculous hat. Be gone now.
So this chill dude built the first empire in the 23rd century BCE, but before Sargon was out there conquering half the known world, he was just a regular guy. Well, regular by Mesopotamian standards, which means probably barefoot and sweaty. His mom, a priestess. His dad, not around. She gives birth to him in secret, tucks him in a reed basket, and launches him down the Euphrates like he's a divine DoorDash delivery. The basket is found by Aki, a royal gardener. Aki raises him, and young Sargon grows up not in a palace, but around mud, vegetables, and really bad pay. Eventually, though, he gets a promotion. Sargon becomes a cupbearer. Now, being a cupbearer might sound lame, but in ancient times it was a big deal. You're trusted, you're close to the king, and you might even whisper policy into his ear. So everything's looking pretty good for Sargon, until this guy shows up, 𝐂𝐭𝐨𝐵𝐲. He's king of Umma, and he's on a roll, taking over every Sumerian city-state he sees. Eventually, he unites all of Sumer, and now he's got his eyes set on Kish. King Ur-Zababa, Sargon's boss, goes full paranoia mode. He starts suspecting everyone, including Sargon. So he does the totally reasonable thing and sends Sargon on a suicide mission.
Hey, buddy, why don't you go visit that terrifying warlord heading our way? Alone, unarmed. I'm sure it'll go great.
And here's the thing. Sargon survives. We don't know how. The ancient tablets literally just stop at this point. He either made a deal, pulled off some sick diplomacy, or just straight up switched teams.
I'm your man, bro. Please don't kill me.
He links up with 𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐺, maybe as a buddy, maybe as a fake buddy, maybe just because the plot demanded it, and together they take down Kish.
Guess who didn't die horribly?
Sargon gets control of the city, but surprise, he doesn't stop there. He marches south and captures Uruk, 𝐂𝐭𝐨𝐵𝐲's capital. Big move, huge. 𝐂𝐭𝐨𝐵𝐲 rushes back like, "Hey, that's my city!" Too late. Sargon beats him. Sargon becomes the big boss of Mesopotamia. But being emperor of a giant mudland isn't enough. He wants to build a legacy. So he constructs a brand new capital, Akkadian. It's strategically placed between the Tigris and Euphrates and filled with loyal Akkadian citizens. Basically, it's like, Akkadians, yay, empire. Sumerians like, wait, dude, what? Now Sargon's got a problem. He rules a lot of land, with a lot of people, who hate his guts. So he does what any good dictator emperor does. Replaces local rulers with Akkadian governors, fills every city garrison with Akkadian soldiers, invents surveillance state, Bronze Age edition. Then he reforms the military. No more part-time peasant militias. Sargon creates a standing army, 5,000 full-time soldiers.
You know, like, we should have a dedicated group of people whose only job is stabbing. Cool. Now this backfires later.
With his army ready and rebellions kind of under control, Sargon does what any ambitious warlord would. More conquering. To the east, he steamrolls Elam and takes Susa. To the north, he follows the Tigris and Euphrates, conquering cities. To the west, he crushes Ebla, reaching the Mediterranean Sea. The Akkadian Empire now stretches from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean. Okay, so Sargon has an empire now. Time to kick back, relax, and enjoy that sweet, sweet imperial tax revenue. Right? Wrong. He needs to spend that money on the empire. New roads, improved irrigation, outposts along trade routes, standard weights and measures, trade explodes, culture spreads, everybody wins. Except everyone who wasn't Akkadian. Remember those Sumerians in the south? Yeah, they still hate Sargon's guts. So rebellions start to pop up like Mesopotamian acne. Sargon's response? Put down the rebellions. Replace local leaders. Put more Akkadians in charge. Repeat. It's like playing whack-a-mole, except every mole is yelling in Sumerian and burning your grain silos. But wait, meet Sargon's daughter, 𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐵𝐻. She's not just any daughter. She's a high priestess of the moon god Sin in the city of Ur. Why is that a big deal? Because in Sumerian culture, religion equals everything. If the gods approve you, people shut up. If they don't, it's pitchforks and floods. Enheduanna wrote the first poems and hymns in history. Thanks to her influence, people start thinking, well, if the moon god's cool with Sargon, I guess we can be cool with him too. PR genius. Basically the first influencer. With the rebellion squashed, the empire enters a golden age. Sargon builds cities, markets flourish. People write cool stuff on clay. It's all going suspiciously well. Suspicious, which means something terrible is probably about to happen. Just when things were going great, they weren't. Somewhere around 2215 BCE, the empire started to crack. Grain prices went up. Rebellions broke out again. Floods, droughts, and the ancient Mesopotamian version of bad Yelp reviews spread like wildfire. It turns out, ruling an empire that stretches hundreds of miles, full of different cultures, languages, and gods, is actually really hard. Even for a guy who literally invented the job. Sargon, now old and battle-worn, spends his final years doing what he's always done best, crushing rebellions. Despite everything, he still holds it together. Barely, but it's clear that his empire, his dream, is starting to unravel at the edges. Around 2215 BCE, Sargon dies. Despite the rebellion, famine, and occasional assassination attempts, Sargon's legacy? Massive. He founded the first true empire in recorded history, built one of the first professional armies, appointed governors, built infrastructure, and standardized measurements, and launched the first known diplomatic and propaganda campaigns. Also, inspired future empires like Rome, Assyria, and eventually every I want to conquer the world guy ever. Even today, he's remembered as the OG emperor. So what happened after Sargon? Rebellions. But his sons smash the uprisings and keep things running. Then his grandson, Naram-Sin, shows up and is so full of himself that he's like, you know what? I'm a god now. And surprisingly, it works. The empire reaches its peak. But then Naram-Sin dies and, spoiler alert, things start falling apart. Rebellions, invasions, bad harvests, you name it. Still, even 100 years after Sargon kicked the bucket, the Akkadian Empire was still around, which is basically forever in ancient history.